I'm going to do a quick demo of my Research System Digest plugin. Now this one, and if you watch my video, my task management plugin, I already ran my today command, and my today command includes running my research digests, my research systems today command. So you can see here, I've already basically run the equivalent of generate research digest, and it's gone ahead and it's added a link to my today to-do list. If you just want to use the research system digest, then what you would do is you would run the / command, generate, you can see it's popping up here, generate research digest. I have this built into my today command. It's already run. Today's Sunday, and so today it's going to search Archive and Google Scholar. The way this research system works is I've defined my own preferences, my own topics, my own keywords. Every day, Monday through Saturday, actually Monday through Sunday, it's going to search the Archive preprint server and return any papers that match my interests. But then on Sunday, it's going to do an even bigger search. It's going to search Google Scholar. And you can see it's linking my to-do list links to my Research Today file. This file is generated every day. It includes a link to my search results for the day, but also if I had downloaded any new papers yesterday, it would include links to those summaries as well. We don't see that here because yesterday was Saturday. I did not download anything. But if we go ahead and click through here, this is going to be a really big digest because it's including all those Google Scholar results. And you can see one of my topics of interest is AI-assisted customer interview analysis. You can also see though that some of the search results that I'm getting aren't super relevant. Like I'm not that interested in like visual impression and architectural event spaces. I'm kind of curious why it came up for customer interview analysis. What ends up happening is they probably interviewed people for this paper. And so it's a little bit hard, even like this one, AI-based interviewing for personality. Like they're using AI to interview people, and that's interesting. I am interested in AI-assisted interviews. I'm not really interested in interviews for personality. So what's hard about keyword search is it's hard to get your keywords exactly right. And a lot of these APIs that I'm using, like the SERP API or even the Archive API, they don't support complex search queries. So I can't say search for customer interviews minus hiring or minus personality. And so it's hard to fine tune my keywords. And so what I did is I'm actually going to use Claude. So I'm going to use my filter research digest command. This is part of this research system plugin. It basically is part of my setup for this plugin. It's asked me a bunch of questions about my job and my interests and why I picked these categories. And so it has additional context about why I'm interested in these topics, and it's going to use that context to filter these papers. So the first thing it's doing is it's asking me which digest I want it to filter. I do want it to filter today. You can see this digest. If you look at the size of this sidebar, this digest is enormous. I don't actually want to go through all these papers, especially because a lot of them are not going to be very relevant to me. So if we go here, let's see what's going on. The first thing Claude is doing is it's running the script calculate dates. This is because Claude's not good at knowing what day today is. And this is just going to tell it relevant dates so it knows. You can see it says today is Sunday, December 28th. Next, it tries to read the digest and it actually gets an error, and that's because this digest is really big. The good news is Claude knows how to fix that. It actually starts by reading the first 200 lines. It also has instructions for how to parse this file. You can see it's searching for pound. You can see that's actually my topics. So if I go all the way back to the top, my topics are designated by pound. My article titles are designated by pound. This file is created this way intentionally because now Claude can just count the pounds, and it's finding 6 lines. That's because I have 6 topics, and it can now break up the file based on topic, and that makes it easier for it to work with. You can see it's also searching for pound. That's going to allow it to count the papers. And so you can see there's 232 papers across 6 topics. It's way more than I want to look at. We can already look at the first few and see they're not very relevant. And so what Claude's going to do is it's going to go ahead and break up this giant digest into 6 sections, 1 per topic. And it's going to give each section to a task agent. So it's using agents to divide up the work. So it's asking me if it can create temp files. One of the things I had to do to make this work really well is we are working with large files. And so I'm relying on the file system to offload the context window. So you can see all the agents are reading and writing from a temp directory. So the main agent split the big file into 6 sections. It didn't pass the section to the agent in the context window because even a section can be really big. Instead, it wrote it to a file and it passed a file path to the agent. This is really important when you're working with large data sets. We got to manage that context window. Now this is going to take a few minutes, so I'll probably fast forward this video. But you can see all 6 agents are working. They're each filtering their own section. They're reading their temp file. Each agent is given context about my business and why I'm interested in these topics. So it's going to do, this is better than keyword search because it's basically doing a semantic analysis of, is this related to what Teresa is interested in based on what I've told Claude. Looks like 5 of our 6 agents have finished. Oh, our 6th agent has finished. So now what's going to happen is the main agent is now going to look at each of these 6 agents wrote their filtered section to a new file. And now the main agent is going to go ahead and create a combined file. And that's going to become my filtered digest. So let's see what happens here. What's interesting here too is you can see in this step that Claude concatenated all of the files into a combined file, which is what it should have done. I wrote this to manage the context window. The problem is Claude read it and it shouldn't have. So it's struggling right now because its context window is full. I believe the instructions for this / command explicitly tells it not to read the file. But LLMs kind of do their own thing and don't always get it right. So we'll see if this actually finishes. If it doesn't, we've already sat here for 5 minutes. If it fails, what's nice is this is written to a file. So it's really easy to recover from. Now I can just copy this. I could actually kill this. I could kill this Claude instance and just say, hey, we have a temp combined file. Can you just write it to my filtered digest? And it will do that. And so I tried to design this when you're working with lots of large data files. You want to make it so that if Claude makes a mistake like it looks like it did, you can recover quickly. I can just be like, interrupt it. What are you doing? And let's see what it says. I have a feeling what's happening here. Like, why does it have to think for... I was filtering today's digest. I was about to write the filtered digest to a file. It looks like you already combined the files. Can you just copy the file instead of reading and writing? So this is where Claude doesn't always make the best decisions with large data. Like it really wants to read things and then write things. It doesn't need to do that. It just combined the filtered results. It can literally just copy the file. Sometimes you have to remind it that you're doing this a dumb way. Okay, so now it created its filtered digest. It's updating my today list. And now it wants to remove the filtered files. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, that's fine. This is partly why I have it right in my temp directory. I don't want it to accidentally, you can see it's doing a remove RF. I don't want it to accidentally remove things it shouldn't. You can see it filtered papers from 232 papers down to 101 papers, so it removed about half of them. Normally it gives me a really nice summary of what it removed and what it didn't remove. I think because I interrupted it from reading the files, it doesn't have that context, but that's okay. If we just go back here, you can see now I have 2 links. I have the original digest, so nothing is destructive. It's created a second digest that is filtered. And now if I go back and look, you can see those first couple papers that we looked at, they're gone. So we can compare if we really wanted to. And I'm now going to get much larger or much more relevant results. So understanding successful human AI teaming, a lot more relevant to, again, it knows about my business. It knows about why I'm interested in these topics. And it's just going to filter out anything like related to healthcare, related to hiring, that kind of match my keywords but aren't really relevant to me. And then the way this works is once I find a paper that, and you can see up here, it has a little bit summary of my filters. So it's filtering for related to product management, continuous discovery, building AI products, designing AI workflows, effectively working with AI, building AI teaching tools. I defined this. So as part of this research plugin, there's a / command for setting up your filters. There's a / command for updating your filters. As I go through this, if it looks like I'm not interested in some of these papers, I can actually do this update research filters command, and it's going to interview me about what I like and don't like about what's left over in my digest. And then based on what I tell it, it will update my filters. So if I saw like still a lot of healthcare stuff in here, I could tell Claude, hey, I'm still getting a lot of healthcare stuff. And then it's going to use that to update my filters. But you can see here, everything under customer interview analysis was filtered out because none of the papers were actually relevant. I do have some AI productivity papers that are relevant. There are some some education related papers. So there's still quite a bit left for me to go through here. If there's something that I find that I really want, I like the paper. So like, let's say this paper is of interest. I can click on it. It goes right to the paper, right? I don't have to go search for it. It just has a nice link to it. And then I can download the PDF. Now, some of these are from Google Scholar, which means you have to have library access to access the PDFs. Some of them are open articles and you can just get them for free. I do have library access through Northwestern, so I can download most papers. This one actually looks like is open. So if this was a paper I was interested in, I could save it to my research folder. And as soon as I do that, it's going to get added to a research queue. And tomorrow, when I run my generate research digest command, it will summarize this paper and it will show up on this file under my newly summarized papers. So this is how I keep up. Every day I look at my daily digest. If it's really big, I use that filter command to filter it. I download papers of interest, and then the next day I review the summaries. And if it looks like it's something worth reading, then I go ahead and read it. So if you're interested in this plugin, you can find a link in the blog post if you're watching this video there, or if you're on YouTube in the description below.